Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Reality Revolution. It's something special that we have been doing for a few Saturdays now.
Yeah.
And we both realized in Maui how much fun we were having and how much more we could offer. And we have a really amazing show set up today. We will be able to take questions from you, but at the same time, we got Natalie Namaste coming. In a few minutes, we got Sheila Gillette coming. We got the wonderful Kyle Boyd in the house right now. And it's absolutely amazing. Oh yeah, I gotta also make sure I put my Instagram live too. We're on Instagram live as well. We're on Facebook live. We're on Twitter. I actually have a channel on Twitch. And
really?
Yeah,
what's Twitch all about?
My son, you know, of course he looks on Twitch. People, it's just live streams a lot. So I was all excited. I went and I look, hey, I'm gonna go check out my Twitch, and 0 people have watched my Twitch. I think you got to market it or something, but we're on Twitch, we're on Instagram, I'm on X, and you can also see us on Facebook and of course YouTube. We got people all over the world. We're always looking at what you're saying. Today's my first day. I'm actually speaking with Invisalign. I won't usually for my episodes, but I got the Invisalign put in yesterday. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Once I started going live on camera.
I thought you take it out like what, at night? Or...
Yeah, I can. You're supposed to keep it on 22 hours a day, but I talked to her and I was like, I'm gonna be doing live YouTube. She said you can take it out and they're gonna stretch it out for me, but slowly they adjust
bottom
it.
And top, or just bottom?
Bottom and tops. See, I had this. I want to call out Anahita. She did a great job. She's awesome. I had this fear of dentists because I had huge jaw surgery when I was younger. I used to have a huge underbite where when I was in school, I couldn't smile. I couldn't smile because I would be showing off this huge underbite. You could put a couple fingers between the bottom and the back. So then it was like once I stopped growing, then I can get surgery. And it involved like they break your jaw, they pull it back, they took bone from my hip, they pulled the top forward. I had to get the braces, like, so they got worse before they got better. So that they were, because your teeth start moving towards each other when there's something like that. So they come out. So I had to straighten them. And then they did this surgery where they broke my jaw and they wired it shut. So when I came out, I was like just this huge, I had no neck. It was just all swollen. It was one of the craziest things. I wish I had taken a picture of it. And then I had to do liquid, like with an injection for 3 months. Like every channel was like this really good hamburger that you could eat. Like as I was sitting watching on the couch, like everything.
You know, this new download I've been getting is that surgeries is often a time where like our intergalactic family.
Right. And so I agree with that. I think that might be what's been happening when I did those surgeries. And then, so when I came out, I could finally smile. But then I also had this sort of fear of going to the dentist because it was so painful. You know, and Anahita knew my fear. So she's somebody in the group that's been to our events. She's a great dentist. And, you know, so finally, you know, it's just one of those things. It's, whatever you're fearing right now, it's not as bad as you think. My other fear was moved. It's like, if I'm fearing it, I will face it.
Dude, right? You know this as well as anybody, but I'm facing one right now.
You're facing your fear right now.
One of my biggest fears. And I just got the letter in the mail. That's one of those fears, but they don't utilize, and I don't even want to speak to it too much, but letter in the mail that you don't like to receive. And it has to do with taxes. And so I have just actually been utilizing everything we've been practicing, and
not as bad as you think.
I'm not buying into any of the fear. It actually hasn't existed at all, to the point where it's kind of scary that I'm just like not in the fear.
Well, I think part of that is that your inner future self that you've downloaded from those knows that everything's going to be okay. When people are facing these sort of crisis moments, after they've done the future self meditation, particularly at the event, then it's like you have these crisis points that come up, as I have too, where I should be totally panicking right now. This thing that's I should be totally panicking, and I'm not. You know, there is no panic at all about what I'm experiencing. So I just want to call out anybody that just joined us from our meditation. We just had a meditation that posted at 2 o'clock Pacific, and this is one of my most favorite meditations. If you get a chance, you got to check it out. Unleashing Infinite Streams of Money. It has a breath technique, a heart coherence technique, where you blast out explosions of abundance. You open up your channels. The sequence of breathing and coherence that we set up in that, I just want to call it out. If you tried it, if you sit and do the meditation where you squeeze your muscles and do your breath, man, it's so good. And I can't wait to do that in Austin, because we're going to do the Large Sums of Money event in Austin, which will be a brand new event we haven't done. And we're going to do the Unleashing Infinite Streams of Income. And it's one of the coolest meditative techniques that it combines like heart coherence, but also entering into these highly vibrational emotional states and blasting it out, and then feeling it come back, like connecting to the earth and what's all around you, sort of feeling the 360-degree infinite streams of income. You know, you reminded me, I was reading in Frederick Dotson, in one of his books, he has a similar experience where he gets audited by the IRS. And then he realizes by the time it happened that he was making so much money, it was just like nothing to whatever happened. It wouldn't matter. You know what I mean? Like he had already accumulated so much from the expansion that he had started to realize that those things, we worried about those things in states of lack. And then once you're in it, your future self knows, oh man, that's not even a big deal. It doesn't matter. When the old version of you would have been like, okay, I'm scared right now. And then you run through all the doomsday scenarios. This is a really interesting component about this. I don't want to say it's a technique, but it's aligned. It's the future pole that I'm working on with my book that I'm really excited about, that I can't wait to announce more details on. It's something that we've now done. We've done a 4-day event around it, a 3-day event. And as we're experiencing at the forefront of this exchange, we're starting to really see some really common situations from other people. We're going to bring people on in future Saturday sessions to talk about their experiences, because I'm just so excited about it, right? I'm so excited. I figured out a way to utilize the old school science of new thought and manifestation integrated with a new school form of physics that allows us to completely change our life. And I'm not saying that like those old infomercials we watched in the 90s. I'm saying that because I've experienced it and I've had some people around me experience it. It's such a game changer. I'm so excited about it.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm walking in a completely different life. And I'm actually especially excited about the Large Sums of Money retreat that we're doing. I don't think I've even told you this, but I was working my other job in the government as a community development director. It was a good job. Mentioning it. It was my old dream job, and still until I started like doing stuff like this. And I was listening to your Large Sums of Money meditation, 8-hour sleep meditation. And then all of a sudden, one of my videos with Daryl, I was like looking on YouTube to like see how it was performing. And all of a sudden it just went nuts, right? And like, I've never seen the algorithm do this. And it was like, I think I got 3,000 subscribers from this one video. And I got $20,000 from it, which allowed me to quit that job. And then I kept listening to your Large Sums of Money meditation. And then I told you, one of my crypto coins went to $320,000.
Right. Yeah.
I only had a couple hundred.
I mean, it's the same thing that happened literally when I created the Large Sums of Money. I went through the same thing you did. Suddenly I was looking at it, and the Large Sums of Money video had paid me enough so that, I was working 2 jobs. I had a business, a book business. This was like 5 years ago or 6 years ago. And it was like, finally, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to focus on that business anymore. I'm just going all out with this. And it was just like that. It was because of that video.
Enough, it has to unfold. You know what I mean? Because you're reprogramming subconscious, and when you actually have those beliefs inside, it has to reflect outwardly, and it always does.
Right. And I know there's a lot of people that are watching that have that are still skeptical, that are still cynical, and all I'm going to say is that change your understanding of time. It may feel like you waited a long time, but you'll realize you waited the perfect amount of time, that everything's going to come to you in perfect timing, because there's a perfect timeline for you where everything works out in perfect ways, that it comes to you at the right time and expands in the right ways so that you're ready for it. Because everybody in this group that's been working on these is about to experience massive abundance. And everybody that is experiencing massive abundance, because we have people coming to us all the time saying, this changed everything for me. All of a sudden I started making this money. I got these new resources that came to me. When you read the comments, it's exciting. And I also have had to confront the sort of spiritual realm that money is not something we should be talking about, but it's the first thing that once we become okay with it, it expands our heart and allows us to move beyond into other dimensions. And that's always been the point of why we're doing this, is I want people to be free to explore who you truly are, to remember that and not be locked into these old patterns, right?
I love that you're adding the heart coherence component, obviously, as part of the heart coherence collaborative.
You can be out of coherence and you're not necessarily, you can have a lot of money coming in and you're not in coherence. I see a lot of wealthy guys that I meet and they've activated the third eye, but they just never activated the heart. And the kind of money they make is totally different. The way they live their life with the money they have is totally different. They're not living their greatest timeline. It's stress. It's competition. It's harsh, right?
And what I found that when you do the subconscious reprogramming, the large sums of money 8-hour, but you also add in heart coherence, it's like an amplifier,
right?
Where you're like,
that's what
manifesting like crazy.
That's what the Unleash the Infinite Streams, the meditation that we just did. That's what I did. Is I took the best of both those worlds, because I really feel like the path to infinite streams of income is opening your heart to infinite streams of energy, right? Once the heart opens, then everything else starts to open. It's the battery behind everything, right? So
I had to slow down for a while because I was it's crazy, but I was listening to that meditation every night and doing crazy amounts of heart coherence, and my external environment kept reshaping rapidly. And it was like I was living in new dream houses, then a new dream house. I was just like moving around too much that I had to slow down. It was getting too crazy.
Yeah, how much can you take? You open your nervous system so that it's able to take in the full amount of abundance that becomes available to you. Be open to change. Be open to new things, new ideas, new opportunities that come to you that you're not expecting. It's this openness, because you're right. People hit a natural block. They can only contain so much.
We see it a little bit at the events too, because
we do.
You have to be ready for massive change.
You have to be ready. There's obviously, you can see in every case with the way that people could open themselves up for more, but they are naturally resisting and not expanding their container to where it can be. And so what I was really proud of with this Infinite Streams, we expand the container to make it feel limitless in that meditation after we amplify the heart energy and use it as an explosion. So I felt when I was meditating with everybody earlier, I could feel like our container sort of expanding. It's really fun. If you guys, every other Saturday, we do one sleep meditation every 2 weeks and one meditation. Meditate with us at the same time. There's something special that's happening when we do meditate at the same time, and that's why I've always done that live on Saturdays. And we've been doing it for a long time now. Ever since I started from the very beginning, we've done the Saturday meditation. So I was always excited for people to come on and talk about it afterwards, because it's easy to slip out. That's the thing. People can be in that state and then they come back and they're immediately triggered by something and they get slipped out. So stick with us.
Yeah. And I inspired by that, I started a Sunday night at 8:00. We always go live and do a heart coherence meditation on my channel. I bring a community member in to guide the meditation, which is pretty cool. So each week it's somebody new. So if you're listening to this and you want to guide a heart coherence meditation, just reach out to me and I'll check you out. And if it's good, we'll have you on the channel.
And there's just something that when you actually lead your own heart coherence meditation, when you lead one, there's another level of heart coherence that you start to become coherent with the people you're leading them on. It's really an interesting dynamic, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And so here in a couple of minutes, we're going to have Natalie Namaste on. I'm excited for that. So everybody stay on. And then also we might play some bookshelf bingo later. And we also have Sheila Gillette coming on.
And Marcus awesome too. So her husband is coming with.
They're both good. Like that when I interviewed them, that's how it was. So I'm excited. We're gonna channel Theo there, and so it's gonna be absolutely amazing. So we have the one and only Natalie Namaste, a channel intuitive, a transformational guide, one of those rare voices that can move between sort of the practical and the cosmic. Welcome to the reality revolution, Natalie.
Oh, it's wonderful to be here with you both. And I've just been feeling into the energies of what you're talking about. And yeah, I can feel it build up because everyone who's tuning in here is adding to it, this field of energy.
It's exciting, isn't it? This is a real place for us to expand and really tune into this energy together as a group worldwide. We got people from all over the world right now. I love that. Right?
Ryan, I don't know if I ever told you this, but I did this thing all of last year, where I would email my collaborative and I'd ask them to recommend people, and whoever they recommended, I would just interview them. And so Natalie was one of those people, and I had no idea. Like, I like not doing so much research, so that when I go into the interview, I'm curious, And after the interview, I was like, that was one of the most high vibrational people I've ever met in my life. I felt high. I went and told my friend, and I think I made him high just you making me high. And now he's a good
wow. I love it. Well, awesome. I'm so glad I think this is the first time on the Reality Revolution. We need to also hook up and connect and do another full-on interview later, right? So
yeah,
I would love that.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
So what's going on in your life, Natalie? What's new and exciting?
Oh, so much. So I've been sitting here tuning in to the Arcturians and angels just to give everyone a bit of an energy update about what's going on. And I don't know if you guys have felt this last week was intense. Did you feel it, Brian and Kyle?
I did.
Oh, yes, very much. Yeah.
I got back from Maui. I thought coming back from Maui was what was just wrecking me. But then I heard a bunch of other people saying they were having the same symptoms as I was.
Yeah. It's really big. So I wanted to give some support for everyone, because I'm sure everyone's feeling something major going on here. So what the Arcturians and angels are saying is that we are now going through an intense time to shine light on any of the really ancient patterns. The patterns that we've been working on that easily come to the surface. We see them, we brush them away. These ones are more of those that are hidden. So people will be feeling it in their physical body, like a pain or a pain that's different it's a different sensation. This is what they're saying. The Arcturians are saying, I've got to get the wording correct. It's sensations like pain, but it's not. It's kind of like pain, pressure, and like fire at the same time, and then a massive burst of release. And they're saying, yeah. So as I'm saying it, I can feel something huge coming here. And they're saying that we're having this big release, and that everyone, if you can please hold space for yourself, be more tender, and allow yourself to be vulnerable. Yesterday I woke up just crying, and no reason. My husband's like, why are you crying? I said, I don't want to bring the mind in to try to uncover something that's so natural. And that's so important, just to allow emotion, which is energy that contracts and expands, the same as thought waves, contraction and expansion, just to be allowing of this to come up to the surface and release, because we're releasing some ancient patterns. And the reason why this is happening so intensely, they're saying for this last week, and it's going to go into next week as well, but it's really good news. They're saying that we're having this big release because something new, they're giving me just a little bit, and more of it's gonna land soon. I'm actually gonna jump on with Kyle and Stefan Burns in the Heart Coherence Collaborative soon, once I've downloaded more. But for now, what they want us to know is that round about mid-June, some big waves, some massive ascension waves are coming. So anything that doesn't match the higher frequency timeline that we're going towards has to be dropped. And this last week and this coming week is an opportunity for us to really release it. And so the guidance is, what they're saying is, absolutely be vulnerable. Allow yourself to feel all the feelings. Don't attach, don't try to figure out what it is. You don't need mind entanglement or emotional entanglement. Just witness and it's going to be a contraction, expansion moving through you, and then you're going to have major expansion and feel so much more light and spaciousness. Another wonderful thing the angels are just saying is that they're saying that more and more angels are here on earth right now. Oh, I'm getting tingles. This is amazing. So everyone's going to feel like super, super supported during this like release cycle that we're currently in.
Let's go.
What I find so amazing, and this is very ironic, and the people in my group can mention about this. We just did a meditation on my channel. And the whole thing, I designed this a couple months ago and recorded it a couple months ago. But the whole thing was about pulling in energy and then holding it and then exploding it out in the same exact way that you just mentioned, and then allowing the energy to come back in the meditation. I don't even remember recording that. And it sounded so perfect, and I could feel it like we were tuning into the moment. This was actually happening in waves, a sort of expansion and contraction. I was even having them contract their muscles and tighten. And at the time, I didn't know that it was so finely tuned to this moment. I love coincidences like that.
Yeah, one thing I want to say too is we just got back from Maui, but before going to Maui, Natalie came on my channel and she was saying that in Maui, that specific time was a portal. And she said that, you know, one of the symptoms you could have is your ears are going to be ringing. And I heard it. I'm just being honest, Natalie. I was like, there's no way my ears are going to be ringing, right?
Yeah.
And sure enough, for the first time ever, my ears were ringing. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
That's what it's like. And then I hopped on with my collaborative and multiple people were saying, my ear's ringing. And I'm like, damn.
It's like a pressure change. And I noticed it, like you're hearing something. The ringing isn't just a ringing internal. I could hear something in the unseen from that ring. There's different rings. You know what I mean? I noticed.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like the ring wasn't a normal ring. It was like a hum. Do you know what I'm saying? It was sort of a hum at a certain level that was like, we don't normally hear that. That was my feeling in that when we were there.
Where are these waves coming from, Natalie? Do you know, like,
talk to us.
What's generating them? Is it the sun?
I'm tapping into it. I just want to feel where they're coming from. The words that it's galactic. So this is why it's new for us. It's going to be like new frequency waves for us that come in like mid-June. Huge potential to have massive expansion. So yeah, it's other galaxies. It's deep wisdom from other galaxies. And what I'm just picking up now, I get so excited about it, is they're saying the advanced human species is in the field here. So your future self, as you say, Brian, and you know, this beautiful being, it's right here. And after this massive release week that we're going to go through, and all this light that's coming in from these other galaxies, it's going to create like an opening for the human species that already exists in the field of presence to be magnetized in quicker and deeper. Ooh, this is exciting.
Wow.
Natalie, can you talk about the nature of galactic energy? Are there unified galaxies that are working in conjunction as one single being? Sometimes you get the idea there are galaxies, old galaxies out there that are literally just a single living entity, just transmitting energies, right? Can you imagine that, right? Tell me what they're saying, or talk more about the galactic nature.
Yeah, so they bring in a color. So right now, as we're tuning into this exact frequency, I'm getting like a deep indigo with pink and white light, and it's moving in an anti-clockwise energy direction. And what this means is it's bringing in the energy of more presence, spaciousness, openness, acceptance. And so these are the qualities that this galactic energy is activating and supporting us within. So if I go deeper into it and connect with them, there's like billions of beings, and I could just hear the frequencies shifting, and I can feel all their presence. And then what they do is they're tuning in. So they're showing me like multi experience, and then they're bringing me in, and I'm coming into like this unity consciousness where they're now bringing through one voice, one energy. And it feels like the sound of Om. It feels really deep, the sound of creation. When light was created and then it was heard for the first time. They're bringing in like that ancient frequency for us.
Should we do a couple ohms to just harmonize with them real quick?
It's like an ancient echo, isn't it, Kyle?
You want to do a couple ohms just to celebrate?
I'm down. I'm always down for ohming. Let's ohm it.
Let's do it
together. All right.
Yeah.
Man, you could feel all three wavelengths coming together. You could see them like, whoa, 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 whoa. Did you feel that?
Yeah.
So you can ohm as a linking device. You can use the ohm as a form of connecting a group together. You know, just before when I was meditating, I went downstairs and my son-in-law and my wife were sitting there and my meditation was on. I was like, here, I put the phone down. I was like, just meditate with me. And we started doing that. And then you could feel sort of a connection forming in the three of us. And it was the same thing I felt just now, non-locally. We just created a connection with Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. Right? Like a tripartite, just like this three. I'm challenging people to try three, get three together to meditate. Try that number. That number feels special, doesn't it? There's something special with the number three, right?
It is. If you repeat anything 3 times, what I'm being shown is that the first time you're just starting the connection, the second time is opening you up, and the third time you are integrating and becoming one with it.
Right. So there's something special with that number 3, the combination of those 3 times. Also, if I see a vision 3 times in a dream, I will see it in my life. I've always felt like the number 3. If I'll see it once and it's kind of unclear, and then I'll see it again, and then I see it the third time, then I know that that's going to happen. Have you experienced anything like this? Forecasts of dreams?
Oh, yes, definitely. And the crazier the dream, the more wild it is, the more it actually shakes us and wakes us. So also the more often that you're having it, it's really what I'm being told right now is it's helping us to move into that frequency that we exist in a multi-dimension. So when we astral travel in dream time, that's really what's happening. We're really having an experience. So it's awesome that you had it 3 times, because it did the opening, the connecting, and then like making it part of the cells in your body, making it part of like the lived vibratory experience of your physical reality.
Yeah.
So in the meditation before, we did the technique 3 times, and then we did the affirmations 3 times, and so now we're now there's this 3.
Natalie, I would love to know how, like, basically based off of everything that you just said that's happening, what should we be doing to prepare?
Yeah, good question. I'm just going to tune in. Divine beings of light, as you prepare for the galactic energies and great ascension upgrades of June, right now is the time to be very tender, soft, kind, and supportive to yourself. As you soften with yourself, the energies that no longer match what is truly accessible and available, which is in the field already, that wants to be magnetized in. Anything that does not match it will melt away with more ease. If you have some resistance or you find yourself being hard with yourself, we ask you to call on us, the angels, the Arcturians, the higher beings of light. We will help you. We will remind you to soften, softening your own thought process towards your own body, towards your own spirit. And as this happens, releasing can happen more naturally, in a lighter, less intense way. But also there are some intense waves, and when they do come in, not to resist them, to breathe into them, breathe deeply into your belly, your sacral chakra. In the Eastern practices, it is a very sacred space in your body because it is the seat of your soul. Now, many of you may want to call in all the light of your soul back into your body so that you have more and more light in your body to work through these releasing cycles, and feel and sense your soul coming deep into your sacral. Here you have 72,000 meridians, which then come out of the body as tentacles or filaments that are sensing and feeling the environment and the energies. As you bring all conscious awareness into this area, your soul is back in its seat, and a great polar switch flips in your whole system, meaning that instead of the thinking part of your mind, which is only 5% of your great consciousness, of your great mind, instead of that small percent of mind running your system, your soul starts to run the whole of your system. And you notice that you find yourself being more present. So what we invite you to do is call all the light of your soul to be in your body. Feel your soul sitting back in its primary seat, running the show, meaning that you are conscious, you are aware, you are then able to witness as the patterns bubble up to the surface and clear out of your energy field without any effort, with an out breath, with a conscious noticing of the release, and know that that's how simple it is. Throughout these days, ground yourself, drinking water, being in nature, taking deeper breaths in and out, making the out breath longer, signaling to your body that you're safe, you're grounded, you're supported, and ask all the beings of light to support you. They're waiting for you to ask. All you have to do is ask, and you are supported. And one more thing, your imagination is your portal to creation. When you were a child, you imagined so freely, and then with schooling and growing up and becoming an adult, somehow there was a limitation and a blockage around imagination. And even sometimes some of you might feel bad, or you're saying, oh, well, it's just my imagination. But your imagination is the portal. When you allow yourself to daydream or to imagine, you are actually creating possibilities in the unified field, meaning that either yourself or others in this world or other dimensions will be able to have that experience because you've imagined it. You are that powerful. So allow yourself to open, allow yourself to imagine, because this is an imaginary world. It's a mind-made reality. It is your dream and you're creating it. Remember how powerful you are. We are here to deeply remind you all the time.
Wow. I could feel them coming through you. I could hear them at the same. I was channeling with you. That was amazing. I think the Om set that up, but I could see the visual they were sending. They sort of send you a visual of what they're talking about.
Yeah.
And so you can see that. Wow. That's pretty amazing.
Wow.
I love the idea tuning into my soul. The word that had an activation for me. The tuning into the soul in that place. That was very unique. What do you think, Kyle?
Yeah.
I just got lost. Yeah. You know, I started when I heard you say to like just invite our guides to help us. I just really just felt that, you know, and I just took a moment to really ask them to be here, not just for me, but for everyone in this group. And I just imagined that everyone in this group was asking. So if everyone here right now could just take a minute or a second to just, you know, imagine that you're asking your guides, or just ask your guides to be here with you during this time, you know.
I would like to get a better conception of what is angelic. You know, sometimes I think there's a misunderstanding. of what's angelic, and then there's something absolutely amazing. So what if you were to describe what an angel is to you?
Okay, so I see angels as sparks of light. So it'll just be a flash in the room or a flash in someone else's aura, and there'll be different colors. And I feel them. So sometimes I'll feel like a hand is on my arm, and then there'll be words that come through my mind. And the angels, they're high frequency beings, and they're very loving, compassionate, tender. They bring through very supportive qualities. It's different from the Arcturians, because when the Arcturians come through, they come through quite electric. They come through like electric white, blue light, and they're talking more about like spiritual awakening, and like expanding the mind and magnetizing in our realities. Where the angels, I often feel like they're helping us with like the human experience and to process emotions and what it's like to be a human, and to like guide us and steer us through. Like I've had people, a friend of mine, she was in a car accident and it rolled a few times, and she said she didn't believe in angels. She said her guardian angel came in, held her in her seatbelt, and she didn't die, and she didn't have any big injuries. She just had some scratches and bruises. And someone else I know, they were walking in a tunnel at night, and they saw some people and they felt scared, like it felt dodgy. And they said, Archangel Michael, he works in the blue ray of light of protection and strength. They said, make yourself visible. And they walked, and those people kind of shied away. And like first they were like teasing and joking with each other, and then they kind of went quiet, and they walked through, and she walked through feeling safe. And when she got home, she said, what happened? And Archangel Michael said, in that moment, I made myself fully visible, really big and strong. And so yeah, the angels can come through in so many ways. Like many people see the numbers 1111 or a feather on your path. And I feel like we each have a guardian angel. I've gone out of my body, and I've been taken to before birth, like during a retreat when I was doing breath work. And I got to see that I was with the angels, and that everyone is with their team of guides and angels that help them to like prepare and also plant some seeds for some experiences they want to have in this lifetime. So they do quite a lot for us.
I have a question.
Do you think the angels ever become just real quick, I want to know if she thinks any angels have ever been embodied as human. Do you think that that's happened?
I do feel that. I feel so. Just the other day, this bird came in, and I was like, oh my, it's my friend who died a few years ago. And I was like, how does that work? And then my guide showed me that a spirit can infuse into an already an animal, an insect, and that they allow the infusion. And so the same can happen for a human. They can be so connected with the angels, like how I channel. Like I kind of, Natalie kind of disappears, and I feel like the angels just speak through me, and it's an infusion. So yeah, it can happen with humans as well.
Someone in the comments asked, and this is for both of you, how do you ask your guides for support?
I think you just ask. I mean, they're always there. There's no special technique or thing you have to do. I mean, just can you guys give me some support, please? Just that works for me. What do you think, Natalie?
Yeah. Sometimes what I do is I have the palm of my hands up, facing up, because this is a signal from the physical body to the universe and to the guides and angels that I am open to receive support. So like I'll lie down in bed and I'll have the palms facing up, and I'll say to them through my mind, I am open to receive all your love and support in all the ways beyond what I can currently even think. I'm open to all ways.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, Natalie, we're doing something to celebrate this energy coming in, which I'm really excited about. We're going to have a special cacao ceremony led by Natalie I think in 2 weeks.
I love cacao ceremonies.
Yeah, so Natalie's actually gonna send out instructions for what to buy, right, to make the cacao.
Yeah, I'm gonna send out a recipe so everyone can bring their own cup of ceremonial cacao. We're gonna set intention. I mean, cacao is amazing. What it does.
Oh, so good.
It activates 4 of the bliss molecules. So you experience bliss. It clears your mind so you can access the higher frequencies, the higher beings, and your higher self, like direct connection of messages and wisdom. And at the first time I ever had cacao, I had this physical cracking open of my heart. Like physically you feel your heart open.
Yeah. So what are we going to be doing?
It's such a heart opener.
Yeah. What are we going to be doing during that time, Natalie?
Well, we'll all bring our cacao and we'll set intention and bring blessings. And I've got special Icaros, shamanic songs. And then we'll set a blessing and intention for the group and we'll drink our cacao together. There'll be channeling, there'll be meditation. And, I've got to feel it out in the moment if there'll be questions and answers as well. Yeah, we'll be guided. They're speaking loud. They're going to guide the session.
Awesome. Oh, wow. Yeah. So if anyone is interested in joining that, I'll put a link down. You get a free 7-day trial. So you don't have to sign up now, but sign up whenever, like 7 days before. And then if you like the community, stay. So I'll post the link in the comments.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very awesome. No, that sounds absolutely amazing. And I'll definitely try to make it to that.
Yeah.
And so I'd love to know about your first experiences, since you're new to my group, people getting to know you. Talk about your first experiences, your origin story, where you started to get your superpowers, where you started to see and experience these other entities working through you. Everybody has a unique story around that. So I'd love to know yours.
Oh, thank you for asking that. Well, I feel like I remembered from when I was really little. I have memories being in the cot and speaking to the beings of light around me. And I have this immense amount of white light that comes through me. And it's been coming through since I was little. And I remember saying to my Mom, this light, this can heal people and this can make people happy. And so I knew, like at a young age, I was like, I'm here on earth to help people to remember this infinite light that is always here, that's what we are. And then, so I was seeing auras and reading. I can see, hear, and feel beyond this dimension. So I can really sense what other people are going through. And so when I was a teenager, it was intense. I could like read everyone, and I needed actually some grounding and to know how to not be doing that all the time and to know healthy boundaries. So then I also kind of went through a phase of just wanting to fit in. And so I kind of switched it off for a little bit. That didn't last long. And then it just started coming back stronger. And so I found a teacher in my teens who took me under her wing. I'm South African, and she was a South African shaman, and she taught me holistic healing. And she was like, wow, you really are gifted, because like I could read things about the clients that I was healing and know things that, you wouldn't know unless you could tap into the multidimensional field. So she took me under her wing, and I did a lot of training. And then it just kind of has grown and expanded. And it's always been the angels that I channel. And then the Arcturians started to come in. And now I'm limitless in the way of I've done and continue to do deep work on myself. So I had depression, and depression, I faced it like by going into the actual sensation in the body of it and completely healed and released it through a 10-day Vipassana retreat. And after that, I've made a promise to myself to like remain conscious and aware, to keep dissolving any patterns that come up so that I can be a clear, pure channel. And since that's happening, I feel like I can channel anything, and we all can. That's what I'm here to help people to remember, because we are these infinite, incredible beings.
Well, like attracts like. So the angels and the beings of light were obviously attracted to you, because like attracts like. So it's an honor to have you. And is there any interesting stories you'd like to tell once you've been accessed? I've found that people in your situation sort of live in a bubble reality where, like, the animals, the colors are different. The animals that are in your surrounding, talk about like the nature, the magical nature of your life when you have access to these energies all around you.
it's quite incredible. I feel like I live in a magical world because, like, even last night, I'm by myself sitting on the sofa and I'm like, oh, yeah, I can access all the infinite right now. So I'm just going to do it. So I just stare into space. And then I hone in on like one object on the wall and I just kind of watch it with relaxed eyes. And then I start to see this luminous white glow. And even though I'm focusing on one point, the whole room starts, everything in the room starts to have a luminous white glow. And then what starts to happen, it turns violet light. And then it went into fractals and everything disappears. And it's just a moment where everything just turns into energy. And then I find myself, I'm just smiling. I'm like, and my whole body, like pins and needles and tingles. I feel every single cell vibrating. Yeah, it's pretty magical.
I think you did an episode with Kyle where you said that you saw the new Earth, right? Can you share with my audience your experience of that you had seen the new Earth, what that's like?
Immediately, it's like, the heart is leading, like everyone's heart field is pulsing, and as people walk and move and connect, they feel each other through the heart. There's like this immediate magnetic connection. Instead of thinking our way through life, something deeper is happening. We're starting to sense our way. So there's a magnetic pull that we already have that goes, oh, I like that, and we go towards it. Oh, I don't like that, and we go away. That gets stronger and kind of moves us without needing to think. So it's less of a thinking, it's more spaciousness in the mind, it's more felt in the body and the heart. And I got taken out of our earth, and I see our earth now, and it's very much made up of the green light. The green light is our earth is constantly trying and working on creating balance. And the blue light is she's expressing herself. So the current theme of the earth, which is then with all of us, is finding balance and finding a way to truly express ourselves. There's a major theme. Going into the new earth, it's golden. And we are tapping into like the deep wisdom. I'm seeing the doorways, the portals of the pyramids have reopened, and there's golden light moving through the pyramids, because there's pyramids on all continents connecting, and under the ocean. This golden light going through the ley lines of the earth, connecting everyone and everything. Then we're starting to work with our telepathy, and it's not just all the time streams of every information. No, we consciously, it's like downloading our emails. We go, okay, I'm going to tap in to the field of this is who I want to connect with right now. And then it's focused mind. So you're able to focus the mind and communicate telepathically, way more like astral traveling and connecting in the higher dimensions. Schooling is a huge one. Schooling from the heart, the old systems completely, it's dissolved in this future earth that I'm seeing. And I'm also seeing that old belief pattern that we've carried for so long about I have to work hard, earn money, like that doesn't even exist. There's just this real knowing of what's in my heart. I follow this. That's the creation.
Let's go.
This is amazing. So I'm excited, and so people need to continue to hear about that vision. More and more people need to know that it's real. I think that a lot of people can get sort of distracted by what's happening in the world and not understand that something special is happening right now. And when we cross that threshold, it's going to be amazing. And I'm really excited about it.
Natalie, one other thing before you head out, people are asking, how are they going to know how to make the cacao? Is there a way that they can sign up for something, or can you tell them now? What's the best way for them to know how to do that?
So shall we do it that if they sign up with the link for our Heart Coherence Collaborative Community, so if they sign up for that, then we'll know that they've signed up. Is that right? Or
yes, we will. Yep.
Okay. So then anyone who signs up with that link, we will send them an email. I've also created a workbook. So we can send them their workbook with the recipe before the event.
Yeah. I just want to say thank you. Like a few months ago, I got this download to create a Heart Coherence Collaborative community where we do heart coherence every day. And Natalie has come in and she's a part of the collaborative. Like she teaches almost every month and you've really embraced it. So my love sent to you so much. I appreciate you. You know, you're one of my best friends. So
you are mine too. And oh, I love you so much. And Brian, I love you too. Just meeting you for the first time,
so
I
nice
feel
to
like
meet you.
You're a brother.
You're a sister all the way. We've known each other for many lifetimes.
Before you head out, Natalie, any final message for everyone listening?
Oh, I love you, everyone. I'm feeling so much love for all our communities coming together as one community. This is exactly what the new earth is all about. So thank you for being here. Truly, namaste.
Thank you so much, Natalie, and welcome to the Reality Revolution. We'll talk soon. Let's set up a time so I can have you on. We can talk even further, okay?
Wonderful. Bye, everyone.
Bye, Natalie. I'm going to go grab some water, Brian.
Well, thank you, everybody. And thank you, Natalie, for joining us. And it's been wonderful to have you. And I'm really excited for us doing it on Saturdays. Natalie's definitely invited in the future. I'd love to have you share in the comments about your particular experiences when she was channeling. I'm always really interested in in what you have to say about your experiences. The way I evaluated channeling, I was just saying, Kyle, is that the way you respond to it. And so when she was, I could really feel like something special. I've never had a situation where I could hear the channeling coming through, sense it at the same time. I think it's because we ohmed together.
Yeah.
We all ohmed together. So we started synchronizing. And then as she was channeling, I could see it coming in before she said it. And so I could actually see it. It was really amazing. Right?
Yeah. I always have that experience with her. I'm like, what in the world just happened? But she's the best. I got to text Sheila and Marcus right now to tell them
it's cool. It's cool. But while we wait, we can do bookshelf bingo. Bookshelf bingo is in the house. So remember, I got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 bookshelves. So the first number is between 1 and 8. The first one that pops up. We go with the synchronicity. We find amazing books. We talk about them for a few minutes. So throw it in the comments. What's the first number that comes in the comments between 1 and 8? Let's see what we got here. What do we got? Anybody put it? We got, is that, wait, what is that? Kyle, is that, did I lose it? I think we got 3.
What are you looking for? The first number that came up?
The first number that came up. It's coming in so fast.
7.
7. All right.
Yeah.
And then now pick a number between 1 and 4. First none. 1 and 4. 1 and 4. So let's see. 3. We got 3. All right. Man, I have so many comments coming in.
It's a great problem to have.
Yeah, it's a great problem to have.
Appreciate you all so much.
Thank you, Jen Smith. Thank you. Thank you for that. We appreciate you. So third shelf. All right. Now pick a number between 1 and 20. 1 and 20. First one that comes up, 1 and 20. Oh, 3 maybe. All right. As far as I can tell, the book that was chosen was a book called The Last Town by Blake Crouch. Blake Crouch is the writer of Dark Matter on Apple. So if anybody wants to see a science fiction show, Blake Crouch, also, he was the writer of Wayward Pines. This is one of the series of Wayward Pines. it's one of my favorite series. That dark matter. You go into this sort of object, and you can go into any reality. It looks like we got Marcus here. So,
cool. Is Sheila there too? Let's have Marcus pop on.
All right.
Sheila's coming in just a minute. How you guys doing?
Hey Marcus, it's good to have you.
It's good to meet you, Brian.
Good to meet you. We I think you came on once before, right? I think maybe.
Man,
no,
I don't know. You look and sound very familiar. I don't know if we've been on or not.
I had Sheila on once before, so but if not, then it was another reality because I'm sure of it. I have to do a search, man.
Yeah. So, when Kyle said we were going to do this, and he started talking about you, I know you guys are good buds and have done a lot of good things together. And man, I feel like I know this dude. So it's good to see you. It's really good to see you.
Yeah. No. Thank you so much for coming on. And you and Sheila have been doing this for a long time. While we wait, tell us a little bit of your story.
Yeah, gosh. Well, I actually met Sheila 29 years ago after reading her first book, The Fifth Dimension: Channels to a New Reality. And at that point, I started, really dialing into Theo's teachings. Theo's a collective group of 12 archangels that have been speaking through her since, after her near-death experience in '69. And, we got together. We had all this crazy, wonderful, miraculous stuff that happened when we first met each other. I know you guys can relate to all that. Oh, yeah. And then we've been together for 29 years, and we've been doing this work with Theo ever since. And Theo's teachings, Brian, are really geared into multiple pillars, but primarily loving the self first and foremost. Really dialing into self-love and remembering who we really are. And, understanding what is really going on in this time we're living in right now, and as people are opening up to their spiritual and their psychic, abilities and awarenesses, we're living in a time where the dimensions, the veils between the dimensions are very thin right now. And so we create a lot of programs around that, and retreats and mentoring programs and webinars, and assist people who are opening up and wanting to move forward without fear. There's a lot of fear right now.
So we did actually talk in 2022. It's been almost 4 years, but we did actually talk, and I do remember. And so it was an amazing interview, and it's so nice to have you guys come back. And so in this time, what sort of channeling, since I last spoke to you 4 years ago, what sort of changes or interesting alignments have you seen in the channelings of Theo?
Well, that's a great question. I would say there's been multiple kind of arcing up, if you will, of their frequency and what they're teaching us to embrace as our own. They say that if we could see ourselves as they see us, there would be no discontent or discomfort in life at all. And so they've been really, over the last 4 years, I would say that the primary focus has been on remembering who we really are. It's about understanding the difference between raising our vibrational frequency in the physical and matching it with the vibrational frequency of our soul note. And our soul note is the actual essence of who we are in our soul essence. And what that means is that our whole waking, walking, presence in life is just amped up in a way that is indescribably fun and really exciting. Yeah, that's been kind of where they've been leading it, the path they've been leading us down. Hi, Sheila.
Hi, everybody. It's good to be here.
You remember Brian?
Sheila, welcome.
Do you remember
Brian? Yes.
Okay, she remembers. All right. I knew it. All right. So good to have you back. How have you been?
Thank you. Really, really good. Thanks for asking.
Oh, awesome. So, well, we're always honored when you can come back and share the wisdom of Theo and just to have your presence. And, it's been an interesting 4 years. I'm sure you guys have been traveling the world, right?
We have. It's been a good 4 years. We've impacted a lot of lives, which is the whole purpose, and really encouraged people in their becoming all they could be. And it's been good.
One thing that I always love to hear, Sheila, is somebody's like channeling origin story. Like how did it all happen where you just all of a sudden had Theo come through?
Well, I had a near-death experience in 1969, which was the catalyst for me. I was in intensive care, and I said, hey, God, give me a job, because I just had a brand new baby and I wanted to stay on the planet. And I saw movement at the end of my bed, and it was Jesus standing there. I had pulmonary embolus. My lungs were non-functional. They were full of fluid. And I knew if I closed my eyes, I'd never open them again. And here was Jesus standing there. And I, as you can imagine, went, whoa, this is interesting. And I heard in my inner mind, hearing as we hear our own thoughts, a distinct male voice say to me, remember, my child, you are loved. And when I heard that, he smiled and crossed his arms. And I felt as if my crown had opened up and this warmth just started going through my body. And when it came through the trunk of my body, I felt like I could take a deep breath. And now my lungs were not functioning. It was like an elephant was sitting there, but I felt like I went like that. And it was a few seconds, minutes, I don't know, place out of time. When I talk to you about it, it's as if it just happened. But then I started getting better, and the doctors were surprised because they were preparing my family that I wouldn't make it through the day. Wow. So when I got out of the hospital, I had all kinds of psychic phenomena happening internally, externally. I could hear messages clairaudiently, like I heard Jesus's voice that day. And then I tranced spontaneously. You're getting the Reader Digest version of this. But I tranced spontaneously and began direct voice mediumship. At that time, the scientists that I worked with that tested me for my psychic abilities said, you are a direct voice trance medium. That's before channeling was even used in this context. And I thought, okay, so this is the job that I was given. But back in 1969 and the early 70s, it's not something you talked about openly. You know, I didn't go into social situations and go, guess what I can do? So I've watched over these 5 decades, really, an evolution that's been happening, an awakening that's been happening to today, where these kinds of things are spoken of, like now. And, you know, you can be sitting in a restaurant or a coffee shop, and you can hear somebody at the table next to you talking about going to see a channeler, or you can talk, you know, even on the news, we hear news commentators go, well, I was just channeling that. So it's become part of our lexicon, part of our normal dialogue. But back then it sure wasn't.
Wow. Thank you for being an OG in the field and paving the way for all of us. You know?
Thanks.
I mean, this happened before I was born. That's crazy to me, right?
Okay. I was only 2.
You were only 2. All right. Wow. That's
really.
So no. Hey, we'll take it. We'll take it. I got it. We'll take it. I believe it. So yeah, I mean that is. I'm sure that over time, your experience with it has changed. We were actually talking to Paul Selig in Maui, and he was saying that sometimes he'd be driving, and all of a sudden the guides start coming through. Like, do you have times when it's like, you know, maybe not right now is the time? Do they always seem to come through at the right time, or sometimes it's inconvenient?
They do. Well, they have not a lot come through like that. It's only when I needed to know something right away.
Oh, okay.
But they taught me early on. They were my teachers because I didn't have a mentor. This all happened spontaneously and on my asking God to give me a job to do. And so all along they said, you know, we're doing this as a collaboration, and this is your life to live. So you set the times when we work together. Not that they're not always there supporting me, but it was like, you need to do this to have a life. And so they mentored me all the way along on how how to do this in the world. And gosh, I don't know what I've done, if I hadn't had that mentoring. They told me to do it, like, to set appointments with people and, to do all the things that I do now. I mean, they've mentored Marcus and I in our business along as well, because we asked them, what's next? What do you want to teach? Wow. So it's been this evolution, but they were my mentors in the how-to. But they do, to answer your question, they've come in like that, but not that often. Okay. It's usually in a situation that they need me to know something right then.
One thing
we would love to go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, one thing I find really fascinating is that you are a couple and that you've been together for as long as you have. You say 29 years? Is that what it was?
Mm-hmm.
And
yes.
you've like, because as a couple, you're a couple, and then you're business partners, and then you're also probably like best friends. I mean, you kind of have to be, right?
Yeah.
How did you manage all of that? And like, do you have any advice for people who are doing that? Because my partner and I, we work together, and so sometimes it can be a little challenging, but it's been pretty good. Just curious.
We were meant to do this together. That's, and you hear that from people. When I met Marcus, I knew exactly that there was something bigger than the two of us that we were to do. And then I knew I was supposed to have a partner, and I went, this is it. And my concern was that he wouldn't get it. Luckily, he did. And so, we complement each other. We really do. And we work every day together. We live together. But it's exciting because we get to talk about all this stuff, with each other, and the exciting things and the magical things that happen in our lives really do, that we so enjoy and really connect us. So, we've had friends and people say to us, well, how can you be together so much time? But I have my own office. He has his work area. You'd think we'd be bumping into each other all the time, but we're not, because I'm in my office doing my thing and he's doing his thing. And we sometimes meet for lunch, and we definitely talk about the end of the day. But that's how it works. We treat it as a business. We have business hours. We do our work. And so it just works, luckily.
Yeah, I'll give you the real story, Kyle, offline.
Yeah, I was waiting for it. No, I'm just kidding.
Before you get married, you and I need to talk.
Oh, you sound so ominous.
Where are you guys from? Where do you guys live?
We're in Scottsdale,
Arizona.
Scottsdale, okay, yeah. So you got warm weather. That's one good solid part of that, right? For sure.
Yeah, we do.
I have 78 today, though, man. We've been having some great weather, so it's been fun. Getting ready.
Beautiful.
Marcus, I got a question for you. Is there any like message over the 29 years that really like shocked you from Theo?
Gosh, that's an interesting question, Kyle. That shocked me. Yeah, I mean, there's always things that, kind of, oh my God, I really needed to hear that. I think that for me,
cool.
And Sheila will tell you this, when we first met, I had done a lot of work on myself. I had been on a spiritual path. I had been following a lot of teachers. I've been having a lot of experiences. And I think the thing that maybe shocked me in the beginning was how much I still had to learn, and how much I still had to experience, and how much more integrative I needed to be with my feminine, frankly. Because, and she'll tell you that, when I first told her, I said, well, I don't know, honey, I'm feeling pretty good about this masculine, feminine, balance. And she gently, as well as Theo did, assisted me in going a little deeper into that area, so that was something in the very beginning that was obviously very necessary. And I think that, when I met Sheila, I had just come out of the Monroe Institute 2 months earlier, just been there. And I had a whole kind of path plan that included being in the consciousness, genre, the consciousness world. And I shouldn't say planned, intended somehow. I wasn't sure what it was going to look like. So I think maybe for me, the big surprise was so quickly as how perfectly we were matched to do this work as partners. And it was probably and I owned my own business for several years, even after that, consulting business. But I had, 15 or so years ago, it became evident that I couldn't do anything other than be with her and she and Theo. And so maybe there was a little bit of a surprise on how much longing I had finally to say, I can't do anything but this, And the last thing I'll say about that is that their teachings, I think, fully understand the epidemic of lack of self-love on the planet. That really took me as we began working together and, doing groups and doing mentoring programs. We went online in 2011, started doing virtual trainings and so forth. I don't think I understood really how much of an epidemic there is, how much of a need there was for people to really get to know and remember who they really are. And that's that vibrational frequency of unconditional love. And that's why we've created a whole program around that. The newest thing we've done over the last little bit of time. But yeah, I think that I don't know if that answered your question, Kyle, but that's probably what I
just one quick follow-up. Like, do you find that being a couple, right? Like being in love plus working on a creative project, do you think the love actually inspires another level of creativity?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, our first book, we did a chapter on relationships. And this was the first year we were together. We were working on it.
That's coming in hot right out the gate.
Yeah, it was. And we were doing great. We were getting the book done, and we bumped into the relationship chapter. And there were a couple bumpy days in that one that it challenged us. And, it was interesting how that, Theo leads us into those moments of, you think you got this? Well, here's a little something for you. And, so we got to navigate that chapter and it all went well, but there were a couple days that it challenged us. And, any couple, anybody that is getting to know each other on that deeper level are challenged. That's just our curriculum of life, isn't it? Challenge, that's how we grow. But it was pretty easy, actually, when I think back on it. I've had much more challenging relationships than those 2 days.
Right.
But, Theo's always evolving. As we are ready for more information, they're giving it to us. Marcus often says we're only limited by our intelligence and our willingness to know and the questions we ask, because the information's there in the asking.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, we would love to talk with Theo and hear Theo's message whenever Theo feels comfortable to do that.
I invite them in. They're always comfortable to talk. But I will invite them in, and then I'll talk to you after.
Sounds great.
All right, here we go. It is the beginning, is it not? We are appreciative of the opportunity to serve, you may ask.
Is there any message that you have for this group right now that you think is particularly important for us all to hear?
It's important to know that all the chaos will come to order. This chaos that is in the world now is important for the transformation of consciousness. And you've all chosen to be here. It is not demanded of you to incarnate. It's a choice. And this is a magnificent time to be incarnated in the evolution of consciousness that it's occurring in and through each and every one of you. The soul expansion that is occurring now. We speak to the outer chaos. It's like the atom. The atom needs a great amount of chaos to have a breakthrough. So this is the time we've been speaking about for many decades. This is the time of transformation of which you all have chosen to be a part. So know what is happening externally is but theater, and everybody is playing their roles perfectly for this expanded consciousness. You may ask.
Thank you so much, Theo. It's an honor that you join us as we move and understand these changes in the world that you speak of. How can I utilize the love within me to help the world move into that order that you speak of? What role can I play?
So it is all about love. It truly is. So each and every one of you, when challenged, could all ask the self in those moments not to react, but to respond. What would love do? Rather than react and respond in a way that is angry or upsetting, be compassionate, curious, and aligned with the inner self. Loving the self enough will change you to be that responder rather than reactor in your lives. So what can you do is think in terms of what would love do? How would you respond? In any conversation, it's compassion, empathy. For everyone has a story of challenge, some greater challenges than others, and some become immersed in that story and believing that's who they are, being a victim of. And know that you are not victims, you're volunteers. You're here for the challenge, for the expanded awareness that you get in those moments, leading you into a solid state of unconditional love. That's not a feeling, it's a state of being. And how you get there is compassion and understanding of the human experience, isn't it? So what would love do when there's someone reactive and upset? More love. Not disassociation or pushback. But what they're asking is, I need to be seen, acknowledged, heard. I need love. So in those moments, it may seem impossible to love that person. But that would be what would be required. You may ask.
Somebody asked a question, unworthiness being a fundamental distortion behind a lot of suffering, and how we dissolve that unworthiness at its root.
We create a process, a soul integrated process that allows you to become aware of where those beliefs about not being worthy or enough began. Through a situation, circumstance, and condition in your life at a certain time where a belief about yourself was created or adopted that is simply untrue. So recognizing, we would say, firstly, what age did you first feel abandoned? That's where you start. loving that part of self forward. The adult you, reparenting, reframing, rewriting the script of those beliefs. Events won't change. Whatever was occurring, whatever happened, where that belief of not being lovable or worthy began, those events are just history. But the belief can be changed, especially with a broader aperture of understanding from the adult you. Yes? Soothing and comforting those younger parts of self forward.
What is it like, Theo, to be an angel?
Omnipresence. And good observation of the human experience. And yes, there's some humor.
Nice.
You're also very serious.
How do we interact with Theo in our dream state? Is it possible for you to talk with us or work with us in any way?
In the asking, it is given. Again, that omnipresence, you see. And we're here as mentors and teachers for this evolution we're speaking of.
Somebody asked Theo, is compassion born from love, or is it born from understanding? And how does compassion help us transform the human experience into conscious expression of the soul?
Yes, to both those questions. Compassion is love. But compassion is understood by one's own personal experiences and challenges. So and empathy, not sympathy. Sympathy feeds addictions to whatever's there to be fed. The beliefs we're talking about, not being worthy, not being enough, not being lovable. And so sympathy doesn't have anything to do with change. So compassion and empathy meet somewhere where they're at with heart, with love. For you have experiences that have grown you, and you can see it in others. And that's where compassion and empathy comes from. It's not that you are to change them, but support them. I see you. I hear you. I understand. I've been where you've been. That's compassionate. Not the fixing, not trying to fix others or judge them, but to encourage to see them and love them forward, just as these aspects of self you will do as the adult to them.
Theo, how do we love the unlovable?
Speak again.
How do we love the unlovable?
The unlovable are the ones that need the most love. It's because whatever wounds they have, they're reacting in life, however they're reactive, from that place of woundedness, an extreme belief of not being worthy. So it's difficult to look at someone that's doing egregious things and loving them. You don't have to like the personality, but you can love the soul. Yes?
Yes.
Is there anything in particular that's happening energetically that's causing like the specific intensity people are noticing right now?
It's the fifth dimension energy that you're living in. It's much more refined. The dimensions between your multidimensionality are thinner. What is happening now is a change of patterns and thoughts that have been passed along for thousands of years. They're not working anymore, and you're developing a new way of being human on this planet. Letting go of that past. The fifth dimension is a new vector in time. And it's not the density that it's been, which allows you to recognize the souls that you are and the magnificence in that. Your spiritual beings having a human experience. It's not the other way around. And the earth is only one choice of experience. There are billions. That's a little hard to put the brain around, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it's unfolding perfectly because many of you believe that to be true now. Where in the past that was unheard of, that belief. The earth was flat, wasn't it? Until a broader spectrum of understanding and vision came forward. So this has always been an evolution. Broadening the aperture, if you would.
I have a follow-up to that. Is the new earth, is there anything like beyond the new earth, or is the new earth the final destination?
No, as we said, the earth is only one choice. There are billions of choices. You can see into the universe now, where just a few short years ago you could not. You could not sit in a room and talk to others around the world and see them as you do today. This has been a very short few years that's been possible. So as you look into space with those pictures, you can see the vastness and the possibilities, can you not? You may not be in your human mind able to grasp the enormity of it, but you can feel into there's a greater out there, if you would. So we're often asked about aliens and UFOs. Yes, they exist. It's true, but can you imagine you being one? Because if you know that you have many choices other than Earth as a soul to have an incarnation, that broadens that aperture, doesn't it? It could be your neighbor. But there is the greater understanding that yes, they've been here all along. But the revelation will occur because the minds are ready, they're open, broadening that perceptivity.
Can you speak about the changes that we're about to face, the changes in consciousness and what to expect?
You're living into it. You're not the same person you were yesterday, are you? And you won't be the same person tomorrow either, because it's moving that quickly. There's been a quickening, a greater awareness coming forward. That's why you're asking these questions. You are all experiencing many things that the third dimensional density, you didn't. But now in this more refined vibrational frequencies, you're open to all these possibilities and understanding. And knowledge is being given you as we're giving now, opening the door even wider to a greater possibility of what you can experience and who you are becoming. And so what is happening in the world is all the old foundational structures are dissolving, or they're being blown up. Necessarily so, because new foundations are being built, new ways are being in the world. There are many good happenings in the world today. New innovations will continue to occur. Many ask, about the ending of the world. That's an old perception. The world's going to be here longer than any of you living on it now. But the mind is expanding, and that experiences are expanding, and a greater understanding is yours. And that's the time you've chosen to live in now. Political structures are changing as we speak. You're a global species, a global community. As we look at your earth, there are no demarcation lines and separations between you. The pandemic proved that to you, didn't it? It didn't matter where you lived in the world, the language you spoke, the color of your skin. You're human beings. And that virus needed a host. What was that host? A human being. And it didn't have any boundaries. So it was there to show you the oneness, the energy of connection between all of you. And as you evolve, and if all would do the soul integration, you would have peace on your planet, because you would find the unconditional love of self, and you would find that in others. And in doing that, you would treat each other appropriately. So there would be no wars. And there is enough for everybody on this planet. It's just those that have greater fear and a sense of lack that want to take it all. And that will never be satiated for some unless they do some integration. Some will, some won't. But in this new time that's evolving, those who do not get on that boat, train, whatever you want to say of evolution that we're speaking about, won't be here. Because that's where your planet is going, in this sense of love.
In the position that Kyle and I are in with the channels that we have where we can speak to people directly, what can we do? What can we do to help people overcome this sense of lack? Is there something that we can do to help people in that process?
Yes, that's born out of all this integration we're speaking about, because the belief of not being enough is a greater belief of lack, not deserving to live the life they want to live, to live a life well lived. Each person has a belief of what wealth is, let's say. Yes, it's different for everybody. And each of you can be wealthy. All you have to do is let it in. The stumbling block is a belief that it's possible and a belief that you deserve it. And how do you get there? You integrate with these parts of self that hold the belief that you don't. And you bring them forward with love. Not putting it aside, but also it is to recognize, where did those beliefs come from? Are they yours, or did you adopt them to belong to a family, a community, a religious organization? Wherever you wanted to belong, you adopted their thought process. And most often, that process has been not enough. Yes?
Yes.
And if you get enough, if there is enough for you, you're not taking it away from anybody else. They can have it also. The only stopping is the internal process of not letting it in. So we would encourage people, if they want to begin the process of having more abundance in their lives, think about the most money you've ever made in your life. Everybody knows that. That's the key of how much you've let in. So can you let more in? Can you double that amount? Go inside, ask your higher power. Let's use the figure 100,000 just for a figure. Can you have 200,000? You go inside and ask your soul, your higher power, can I do it? It's either yes or no. So if that's too large a leap, could it be 150? But an increase just the same. For there will be a place where your soul says yes. And then just believe in it. You don't have to know how. Just take a figure, see that figure at the end of the year in your bank account, and miracles happen.
I have one more question. It's an alien question, actually. Does everybody who's a hybrid know they're a hybrid? And if not, are there more people waking up to the fact that they might be right now?
Yes. We would say some do, some don't. But there's a great awakening happening. And some question the possibility. If it's a question in your mind, the possibility is good that you are, because it wouldn't even come into your mind as a possibility. And then what do you do? Yes, what do you do with that information? Would it change you?
That's the question I have right now.
We would say it doesn't have to, no. What difference does it make? You're here for this evolution of consciousness. It's just another piece of who you are, you see, that you can accept or not. That's an internal process. But we would say it would be better to accept all things that you are rather than to segregate them out. That's what love would do.
Thank you.
Is there any other messages you have for us, Theo?
There are many messages, but we see enough has been given for thought for this moment. We are complete. God's love unto you. Good day.
Thank you so much, Theo. It's an honor to share your energy, wisdom in that moment. It's been an honor that you share your time. I'm so excited that so many people around the world got to hear this message, and it feels good. It feels right. What is so special about channelings like that is it goes beyond just the words that we heard. There's energy behind it. And if you could fully see in the unseen, the sort of energy transformations happening just through the words, the carrier wave of the words that came through all over the world, then you'd see something much more profound and incredible when you experience something like that, right? That's what's so exciting.
Indeed.
Yes.
Yeah, well said. Yeah. Welcome back, Sheila.
Thank you.
So Marcus and Sheila, you are both going to come to my community and kind of do a little teaching. If you could just go into it a little bit more about, what everyone can expect and all that good stuff.
Oh, love to. We're going to be doing a very special event together later on in June, and have an opportunity also to be interviewed by you, Kyle, before we do that. And the experience that we're creating is an experience. Brian's, point about the transmissions and how we experience them electrically. What we created with this program, it's called Discover the Magic of Unconditional Love. And it is a subtitle of our new book, The Art of Relationship. And the actual webinar program itself is designed to, and it's an experience. There's a channeling, of course, with Sheila and bringing Theo through for all of us on the topic of relationships. And when I asked Theo early on in this whole process of creating the Art of Relationship program, as never embodied before angelic beings, what why are you such geniuses, and where does this wisdom come from in terms of giving such crystal clear advice on human relationships? And they just simply said, and they even mentioned this earlier, that they're very good observers of the human experience. So we're going to be bringing some of your community in to talk to Theo live about their relationship questions, Kyle. And then we're going to be creating an experience of actually feeling the difference between what conditional love of self is and what unconditional love really is. And it is a powerful transmission that Sheila and I and Theo have created to really feel the feeling, really, maybe for the first time for many people, of actually what it means to love yourself unconditionally, as opposed to loving ourselves conditionally. We tend to love ourselves when someone says good things about us, or when we think we look good, or when we get a raise or a promotion, or we buy a nice new car or something. It's always typically external conditions that people tend to respond to and feel love for themselves. But that is an underlying pattern of fear and lack and of dissociation from who we really are. So it's a cool experience. We're really excited about meeting your community. We're excited about both being on your show and then bringing you into our experience together, just your community. And ultimately, at the end of the day, what happens is that when people are when they engage in this process of actually being able to distinguish clearly, indisputably, the difference between loving themselves conditionally and unconditionally, everything changes. The patterns all change. The way we show up changes. The underlying foundation of who we know ourselves to be is that foundation for that expresses in every single relationship in our lives and every relationship experience. We can then engage with our mother saying negative things about us, and now we're not reactive. Now we're not taking it personally. We're seeing it from an observatory standpoint, as opposed to that defensiveness and that angst and all that most people feel when they love themselves conditionally. So I could go on and on about this, but it's just a really fun, cool, uplifting experience. And we're going to be bringing, Sheila's going to be bringing Theo in for everybody's benefit. It's going to be cool. We're going to have a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. And just a little side story. When I first started my YouTube channel, it was all about heart coherence, which is still my love. But somehow I started interviewing channels, and I had a couple. I understand now why it happened, but I don't get how it like just unfolded in the beginning. It was kind of divine. It just happened to me. But I had a couple channels on, and I didn't really resonate at first. And Sheila and Theo were they came on, and it was the first one that like really hit me. I felt Jesus when you were talking about him. I felt everything that you were saying was true. And at that point I was like, all right, there's something to this. I really love whatever just flowed through you. And I'm going to start looking more into this stuff. So I appreciate it. And I'm really excited and honored to have you joining our community for that. How can people find that again? Like, should they just go to your website?
Yeah, just go to asktheo.com. And we got we got a really cool meditation called Raising Your Vibrational Frequency, and an audio program called Theo Answers Life's Greatest Spiritual Mysteries, 44 answers to life's greatest spiritual mysteries. And so we got an audio program, a meditation. Just come on in and we'll keep you informed as to what's going on. And then your community will be invited in a special invitation that you're going to send out to them for the event on June 25th. So, but come on and join us and get familiar with Theo before that event. Yeah, lots of cool things for you when you get there.
Let's go.
That's fantastic. We'll try to put the link in the description for the video afterwards, so we can. That's asktheo.com.
Yeah,
we're going to take some questions. Just people just riffing. We're just be talking and hanging out. If you guys want to hang out for a couple of minutes, because that's how we sort of end this. Any cool movies or TV shows lately, Kyle?
Oh no, I've been so just catching up since I got back from Maui, Yeah, but I'm loving life, I'm trying to think any movies.
I just saw the
Project Hail Mary.
Project. Oh my gosh, we keep on talking about it every week.
Man,
just watch it. Yeah.
It's
awesome.
amazing.
Yeah, you got to see. You haven't seen it, Kyle. You got to see it. You got to see
all
it.
right,
It's
I'll do that
something
tonight.
special.
I'll do it.
You got to do it. If it's if you have to rent it, I think it's worth the rent.
Yeah.
Or even listen to the book. What I watched the other night was Good Omens season 3. It was like a single movie. It's sort of in the world of angels. These two angels sort of have a relationship, and it's really, there's a fascinating scenario where God removes the angels and lets them play out a like billion-year evolution, so they meet each other. And there's some really, I love the portrayal of angels in fiction. I also find that sometimes, I'm sure you guys, when you see angels all around, am I right?
Yes. Yeah, we do. Yeah.
So if anybody has a question, you can throw in a question or a comment that we can share or talk about. But yeah, why does the Ask Theo website? Okay, living authentically is unconditional love of self. That's true. I love that. But if anybody has a question for any of us, if you're going through anything, this is a great group of people that you can ask a question, and we can give you our own interesting comments. And I'll have to have you guys on the Reality Revolution again, and do the same with our group. Share some of your teachings as you're doing with Kyle, because we all definitely need that 100%. Let's see, what do we got here? How can we see angels? John asks. How can we see angels?
Well, first you have to believe in them. You won't see anything unless you believe it. And just ask, but they don't necessarily show up with wings. They show up as a color, orbs, balls. Mm-hmm. If you take pictures, we did a trip to Egypt. We're doing another one this year, but in our first trip to Egypt, we were in the temples, and people had their iPhones out and they were taking pictures, and there were all these orbs in their pictures that people weren't seeing with their eyes. Some were, but they show up digitally in a cell phone picture. It was really interesting. So that's a way you can see them, is just be somewhere and take some pictures, because they're all around us.
Let me add one more thing to that, though, too. I think the other component of the belief is believing you deserve it, believing that, yes, you can actually see and experience angels. Everybody has angels. And the belief that you're worthy, this isn't something that just Sheila Gillette can do. And you guys know this, right? This is something that we all have the capability, innate capability of doing. And we have to believe that we are actually worthy of that ourselves. Yeah, it's not just for other people. And that paradigm shift right there will open you up as much as anything else, I think.
Well, and it's not just seeing, because some of us receive differently. If you're a visual learner, lots of times you'll see that. You ask to see them, and you'll see them. But if you're an auditory learner like me, I hear. So rather than seeing, possibly, if your dominant way to learn is auditory, you might hear a message, or you might hear your name called. And then you build on the visual stuff, and the visual people build on their auditory stuff, because we have several ways, because we're sentient being. We have these bodies, we have these receptors that we're getting information all the time. So some people might just feel it. Our body is where we get our messages. So it's not just one way. It's not just seeing, but it's feeling, it's hearing, it's visual clairvoyance, yes. But it's, we can just open all the receptors, because this is our receiver, just like our television has a receiver, our computers are receiving. Well, our body is our big receiver. We just need to listen to it.
Mm-hmm. I have a question. It's really important. Have you ever seen angels in the outfield?
Yeah. In the outfield?
Yeah.
The movie Angels in the Outfield, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that was my first experience with angels.
Yeah, that's a great movie too. There's Michael.
Michael is a good
movie.
John Travolta. John Travolta, classic, right?
Yeah, yeah,
movie.
and they're fun. You know, they're not scary like some of the scary.
What was the TV show back in the 80s? Michael Landon was in it, and like he was just like he was just
an Angel.
Touched by an Angel. That I always loved that one too. There was something special about that.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah,
there's a really good older movie. I think it was in the 90s, early 90s, and it was with Timothy Hutton.
Yes.
And what was Marcus? What's the name of it?
Kelly.
Made in Heaven.
Yeah, Made in Heaven.
Made in Heaven, and that's really an interesting movie.
Yeah.
Too.
No,
lots of them out there.
Yeah,
they're fun too. They're really enlightening.
What's the movie? And I know it's a little bit different. Defending My Life with
yes. Yes, Albert Brooks
right
and
Albert
Meryl
Brooks
Streep.
and Meryl Streep.
Yeah,
one of the all-time. You want to go see something that'll just surprise you, Kyle? I think that one is special. Sheila has a question. She's Soul Healing with Bree has a question. Sheila, I'm a trace channeler and working to navigate expanding my light body. Any tips to stay nourished in the human while channeling these higher dimensional beings?
Absolutely. You really need to take care of your body, and you need really good nutrition and really good hydration. So it's listening to the body. I know I take good supplements, and I pay attention to the minerals particularly because they support the nervous system. And when you're channeling high frequencies, that what gets burned out is your nervous system and your adrenal system. So supporting the adrenal system and, not making an intellectual choice about your diet, but what does your body respond to? What does your body truly assimilate? Because we could say, being a vegetarian is the best way to go, but maybe not for your body. I know it wouldn't be for mine. I need animal protein. So you just have to listen to your body, but paying attention to good supplementation and paying attention to the minerals I've found, because that supports the adrenal system and the nervous system.
Yeah, and nervous system regulation. Just really, working with any modalities that might stimulate the vagus nerve is a good way of doing this as well. And you guys know this, I know, but just the nervous system regulation right now has been a big topic of conversation in our community. Toning, humming. There's pulse. There's devices that you can purchase that are not super expensive that can help to stimulate the vagus nerve, but really getting tapped into the parasympathetic part of the brain as opposed to the fight, flight, freeze and the sympathetic side. So I think that's something and that's unique to every physical body too.
What you might be interested in knowing is the vagus nerve regulates the heart. So when we get really anxious and so forth, you can just, right where your carotid artery is, right beneath that is the vagus nerve. You can just massage it and relax, and you'll notice your breathing get better. And
I didn't know that. That's great.
And breath work is really, really cool.
Breathing can do it. Deep breathing.
I have one more question.
Do you have as a couple ever meditate together? Do you sit in meditation together? And is there a process you can share with other couples, sort of deepen your connection with each other through meditation?
Well, we'll share something with you that anybody can do, and it's particularly fun when you're with a romantic partner or just a dear friend, somebody you want to play with psychically. But when Sheila and I first met each other, I was here in Arizona, and she was up in Fort Collins, Colorado, and we would go to meditation.
I love Fort Collins.
It's a great place, and her daughter lives there right now. And we'd go into meditation together. We'd pick a time. We'd call each other, say, "Okay, it's time." We'd get into our meditation, spots, and we'd meditate for quite a while. And we would intentionally send messages to each other and have a dialogue in meditation and telepathically communicate with each other. And then we'd get back on the phone and compare notes, and it was stunning the messages and how they were received. And we actually do this in some of our, we have a program and a retreat that we actually, we play with this, we experiment, experience this with our community. And it just, we have so many great stories for you guys. I mean, it's so cool when people have these hits and they go, holy shit, this really works.
Yeah.
This actually really works.
It makes magic. I'm about the magic. I love my magic ways. And it's just intentional. We can all do it. It's just, it's intending and paying attention, because there's subtleties that you miss in a busy life. So it's just training yourself to more awareness, because it's all around us. I use my psychic ability every day. The more you use it, the better you are at it. And, that's what I would suggest to your communities, is just do it. We're all capable. We all have this receiver. We all have intuitive gifts, and we may be just new and beginning to open to them. And some of your communities are probably wildly open and having experiences. But the more we do it, the more fun it is. And a lot of people don't, because they're afraid. They're afraid they're going to lose themselves, or somebody's going to take them over, and we individually have our own power. And our soul is here by choice. And Theo says, nobody can do anything to you without your permission. And that's what they told me right in the beginning of working with them. So it kind of reduces the fears. And you might feel energy you're uncomfortable with, then just say no. Or, this isn't allowed now. So it's the power of no. No is a sentence. You don't have to explain yourself.
Yeah.
I just want to give a shout out that we have an interview Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern that we're doing live. So if anyone wants to join that, I'll put the link down below. You can join that, and you can submit questions to ask. We'll go in a little more depth. And one thing, just Sheila and Marcus, that I'm going to bring up during that is I recently had a QHHT session where I was being worked on by an alien, and then they basically told me that it was me that I was looking at. And there was all these revelations that came from that. And when I finished the QHHT session, I was like, this is crazy. I don't believe this stuff. You know what I mean? Like, that was my initial reaction. Like, this is crazy. But then as I literally have been sitting in it all week, it actually has been resonating as the most true thing I've ever heard, which is kind of weird. And so I want to just go in a little deeper on that with you and ask for some advice, and then just, go deep on a bunch of other things too. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, we'd love to talk to you about that. We've had some experience with it. We're big fans of Dolores Cannon and the whole regressive process. And there's some really talented people out there that are really, really good at regressing people and creating experiences.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. This can be interesting, Kyle, for sure. 100%.
Thank you for coming today. This has been amazing.
Yeah, it's been an amazing experience. And just so everybody can go, you can go to asktheo.com. Be sure to check out our links in the description. We have amazing events that are coming up. We have one that's in Anaheim on July 24th to the 26th. We have an event in Austin coming up. Actually, Anaheim is July, and then Austin is in September, and we're going to be in Sedona in November. And Sheila, I'm from Cheyenne. Fort Collins was always Fort Collins was always my place, because we were always so jealous because everything was so much cooler in Fort Collins. Like, when you go from Cheyenne to Fort Collins, like, the grass is all of a sudden greener and everything's more beautiful. The people are more beautiful. The restaurants are better. You know what I'm saying? If you're from Fort Collins.
I lived in Cheyenne when I was 3 years old.
Oh my gosh. So
my dad was an executive with Union Pacific Railroad. So
so did it happen in Cheyenne? That was you were 2 years old?
No.
Okay.
No. Actually, I was 24 when it happened.
Yes.
I lied.
Oh no, okay, no. Hey, I was gonna believe it. I was gonna... But Cheyenne, well, yeah, I'm glad that we shared that. If anybody that's lived in Cheyenne would rather live in Fort Collins, but hey,
it's a great town. Yeah, it's a nice
it is.
Yeah, I never knew Wyoming was actually a real place. I thought it was just something people talked about,
I mean, there's some parts that are okay.
It's a beautiful place, actually.
There's some beautiful places for sure. But it's just an honor to talk to you guys and everybody. We will try to do this again next Saturday. And so we look forward to bringing you guys back again. And thanks, Theo, and everyone else. And as always, welcome. Hey, it's Brian Scott. So before you go, November 20th through the 22nd in Sedona at Bell Rock in the Vortex, 3 days of pineal gland activations, quantum jumping, future self merging. I'm using a special retrocausal technique where you merge with your future self based on real quantum physics that creates the most drastic and profound changes that you could ever imagine. The Earth is going to do half the work in the Vortex. Tickets are in the description. Space is very limited. You can go to the link, click the link, or go to www.brianscottlive.com/Sedona-2026. Sedona, Arizona, November 20th through the 22nd. There's early bird pricing available. There's discounts on rooms available. Get your ticket now. Click on the link now. I can't wait to see you there.